You're listening to an Airwave Media podcast.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neil, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. This is Ken, here in the studio with Jeff and Neil. We got Matt, too.
Matt 2.
Matt 2. What's up?
And Matt 1 also.
The new and improved Matt.
Yeah. Not improved, but just
The
new.
new
That's
Matt.
okay.
I mean, Matt also.
So like Matt Coke, right? It's the new Coke.
Yeah, and then
Matt.
everyone will be excited when they bring back old
Matt Classic, yeah.
Or Crystal Matt.
I don't want to see
I'm
Crystal Matt.
Crystal Matt right now.
How did you enjoy the Japanese series with the Cubs, Matt?
0-2, not great.
Good start.
How about Rodney Pete taking a foul ball away from the Dodgers?
That was something I did not expect to see. Look at this. This is like an episode of Benchwarmers, all this ball talk in the
It
morning.
was Tokyo Dome, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, lovely.
Lovely
stadium.
Lovely stadium. Speaking of the Benchwarmers, we have one of them with us today, one of our oldest friends, always here to save the day when Matt is not booted up. Excited to have him here, Savage Superstar on Patreon, Markkus Ellis. How are you, Markkus?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for having me. It's good to see you guys. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been too long.
It's been a while.
I know. I knew that was good. Speaking of, we'll talk about this later, but I'll just throw it out here now. I already mentioned this to Neil. Pretty sure I'm coming in June for the Mariners at Cubs. So
Nice.
let's all hang out. But
That'd be sweet.
I'm good. Yeah, you mentioned Benchwarmers. If you like sports or you don't like sports and you want to learn about sports, listen to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, where you can hear us, not me particularly, but like the freaks we have on our show, like Eric Eade and, I don't know, Jeopardy winner Matt Takimoto and David Lux, the real brains. And then you hear me talking about Delonte West and stuff like that. So.
Well, poor Delonte West. I think he's good now, right? They found him. He's okay.
I hope.
All right.
We're
Don't
hoping for the
Google
best
it.
Delonte, but
he had some rough
and
times.
gearing up for the most exciting.
If I knew who that was, I'd be very concerned.
If you knew the context, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
But it's biggest sports weekend coming up, or one of the biggest sports weekends with March Madness coming up. So excited for that, and excited to be here.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Now, you're going to partner with Matt today. We talked a little bit about the Japan series of the Cubs and Dodgers, but Matt, what's your team name going to be today?
Yeah, it's my favorite thing from the spring training was the robot umpire. So we're going to be spring training robot umpire.
All right. And how about you two, or do you want to wait until we introduce our host?
We better introduce the host first.
All right, so we'll introduce our host here, returning guest. So happy to have him back here with us today. So excited for the game today. Alex Javizian, how are you?
Doing good. Well, glad to be back.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll lead right into what the team name is, because it's based on the hoodie you're wearing, which no one can see.
Well, music teacher by day, trivia writer by night. Since the last time I was on the show, we did some awesome stuff. Been to a bunch of awesome concerts. Finally went to my first show at Red Rocks.
Nice.
I also started an after-school rock band program with like my third and fourth graders. We ended up playing Wonderwall at the Board of Education meeting.
Perfect.
And it's I feel like I lose all my metal cred when playing Wonderwall and singing Wonderwall with them, but it blew everyone out of the water. But
there comes a time in everyone's life where Wonderwall comes out.
I'll be honest with you, like, it's like sad when a college kid noodles around on a guitar and does Wonderwall, but like third and fourth graders, that's pretty sweet. Like,
yeah, definitely.
It is, yeah.
And maybe, just maybe.
We're working on Good Riddance now for the 5th grade graduation.
There we go.
But, no, tons of good shows coming up. I'm going to try to catch Russian Circles tonight after we're done podcasting, and then
sick.
Going skiing tomorrow with my friend Ryan up in Loveland.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited to have you here. And what hoodie are you wearing? Because that's going to lead right into Ken and Jeff's team.
I've got a Converge hoodie, Jane Doe, and I've also got the Jane Doe flag hanging in my classroom.
Big fan. Might get that tattoo one day. But yeah, we're going to do a Converge team name, me and Jeff, since I thought that this would make a good team for Alex's skill set here. So we're going to be no heroes, but we mean the sandwich.
No heroes, but the sandwich.
Yes.
All right. Well, we got spring training robot umpire versus no heroes, the sandwich. But we need the rules.
We have a very special rules for you today.
Oh, we do.
From an important figure in sports.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Former coach, I believe.
I believe so.
All right.
Lou Holtz.
Lou Holtz. Let's see what it is.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there will be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah!
Marcus, what did you think of the Lou Holtz impression? You're the sports expert.
You know, he sounds a little more spry than I thought, you know.
Who could that have been doing that impression? I don't know. It was sent anonymously, so
Oh my
we
gosh,
never know.
I'm getting a call from Lou Holtz right now.
Hey, everybody, it's great to be here. I'm so excited to be on Triviality. It's so much fun.
Thank you for calling in, Lou.
Oh, it's
We
my
have a good one.
We've never had a caller like that before.
It's my
So-
pleasure.
you're
All
a
right,
good
gotta
caller.
go now.
I
Because
didn't
we're
know
not
you
a
could
call-in
call in
show.
spontaneously.
Call into a pre-recorded podcast.
That's how you know how
I had no
old we
idea.
are, is that I made a call-in joke like this is a radio joke.
Oh, and it looks
Well,
like
good to hear from Lou.
good to hear from Lou. We didn't really need the dick pic he sent, but that's okay.
Yeah, another call coming in right now.
The lights are lighting up. It's Jimmy Stewart.
Any
on
more
line
calls?
4.
Jimmy Stewart?
Oh well, I love Grace Kelly, but I like murderers more.
Oh, we got one more on the line. It looks like it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Come on, lift the weights. Let's do it. Come on, let's get some questions. All right, thanks, Arnold.
This is like the Royal Rumble. Just podcast guests here.
And I show speed on line 4. Well, I don't know who that is, but he got speared pretty hard. So,
And he's
He
out.
deserved it.
all right, let's get some questions.
Yeah, Alex, feel free to take it away. We got our teams. I'm just gonna keep score.
Question number 1 is film. Of the films based on Stephen King works, It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2 are the 2 highest grossing, earning $850 and $549 million respectively. What Oscar-nominated film is third, grossing a total of $287 million, and also all numbers have not been adjusted for inflation?
So I don't believe Maximum Overdrive was Oscar nominated, Jeff. But what do you think of this one?
What about Pet Cemeteries?
I don't think that one was high enough grossing, but I think actually, you know what? Let's go with this one. I think we're locked in.
Okay.
All right. They probably locked in with the Langoliers, which is what I was going to go with. Do you have any idea on this one? What's your initial thoughts?
I'm a king head as far as I'm a king head in reverse. I watch the movies and then I make my way to the books is how I usually do it. But Oscar nominated really narrows down this field. It's definitely not thinner.
No.
My initial thought was The Green Mile. That would
Okay.
be the one that makes the most
That
sense
makes
to me.
that, and it's not adjusted for inflation, so you're probably leaning towards a later one, not like a
Right.
Carrie or The Shining or anything like that.
Yeah.
Green Mile sounds great. I feel like that made a lot of money. I never saw it. It's a shame, but we can go with The Green Mile.
That's a great guess. We're gonna actually go with Carrie. Don't see Green Mile having made that much, but you guys could be right.
Yeah, so Matt and Marcus were right on this one. This was The Green Mile.
Well done.
All right.
Got that Tom Hanks power.
I'm wired, boss.
Question number 2 is in television. Taking their name from an insult in Star Wars lore, the band Nerf Herder is best known for performing the song in the opening of what TV series that ran from 1997 to 2003 on the WB and UPN?
All right, I think we're locked in here.
So Nerf Herder, I believe, is a Pacific Northwest band. I think that's where they're from. Yeah, are you familiar with their works?
I am not. This is
Okay.
No, this
I
is you if you have it. I'm hoping you.
I think their hit song in the 90s was Popular, and I believe that was a CW show that ran in the early 2000s to late 90s. So it would make sense if that was the theme song for it.
All right. I'm good with that.
So we'll go Popular.
We just need the show, right?
Yeah, just the show, not the name of the song.
Yeah. We're saying the Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah,
that's
this
right.
was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I guess the biggest hint was the fact that it ran on 2 different channels.
Yeah, I was thinking of that theme song. I was like, yeah, it's kind of punk, kind of pop punk.
What's Nerf Herder's biggest song?
Probably "Girl at the Video Game Store," or Mr. Spock.
Oh, okay. I think I've heard that one. Yeah.
Are you just guessing those are actual names of songs, or are those?
No,
actual names?
those are songs. But
Okay, I believe it.
yeah,
It's like there's a power metal festival coming up to Denver, and one of the bands on there was Owlbear. And I'm like,
that's nice.
I'm not surprised there's a
I
power
wish it
metal
wasn't
band named
taken, to be
Owlbear.
honest.
So question number 3 is in NGOs. OPEC was founded in 1960 with a total of 5 countries, including Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and what other country, which is the furthest in distance from the other 4 members?
We're locked in.
All right, Marcus. So we're looking for the 5th country, the JC Chazé of OPEC. I'm not.
So vastly underrated.
Yeah. So I was thinking UAE initially. It seems like these are like the titans of the kind of oil area.
Yeah.
And I know
Yeah.
UAE is huge in that. So that was my first thought. What do you think?
That's as good of a guess as I'm going to come up with, because yes, I agree. It seems to be the big oil countries, and
And UAE is pretty far from those other countries. So maybe
it is. Yeah, I like that.
That works. Okay.
And I'm pretty sure there is a OPEC member in South America. I think it was a founding member. We're going to guess Venezuela.
Yeah, you have to go a bit further than the UAE. This was, in fact, Venezuela.
Ooh, nice poll.
We were never guessing that. That's for sure.
Nope.
Question number 4 is business. Currently owning the naming rights to the stadium where the Padres play, what company has the NASDAQ stock symbol WOOF, or WOOF?
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
There's your sports adjacent question.
Yeah.
baby.
You know, when he said Padres, I'm like, do they still own the rights? And then I heard the thing. So I said, yep,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
I was like, because it changes so often. So we're locked in.
All right, we got Woof,
Yeah.
Pet Store, Petco. PetSmart?
PetSmart, maybe?
Do you know the stadium?
Well, no, it's just that we just need the company that has the
Well, it's probably
naming
called
rights. So it's probably
X Stadium, PetSmart Stadium, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know the stadium. So let's say PetSmart.
okay. They own Chewy, so
Petco. PetSmart.
What are we locking in with?
PetSmart.
PetSmart. Okay.
It
Matt
was
Marcus.
50-50. I think you went the wrong way. We're going Petco Park. Does that sound right?
Yeah, this is 1,000% correct. I blacked out there like 3 years ago.
Pet Supply Plus Park. Petco.
How dare you sully the name of Tony Gwynn in his own church?
Yep, this is in fact Petco Park.
It does sound better than PetSmart Park.
If it was PetSmart Stadium, then it would work, I think.
Yeah.
yeah.
And just for the record, looks like Nerf Herder's biggest songs are Van Halen, Sorry, and Mr. Spock.
Okay.
Yeah. And they also, the singer for Nerf Herder is Perry Grip. He does a bunch of viral YouTube videos too
Oh, interesting. Okay.
that are probably more famous than his band at this point.
Franklin Turtle, the taco song. He does
Do you
like
like waffles?
kids songs mostly.
I like waffles.
That guy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Question number 5 is in memes. Surprising many metalheads, the meme of the month seems to be a video of singer Bobby Liebling at a performance staring into the distance with his mouth open and hair getting blown up by a fan. Liebling is the lead singer of what doom metal band, whose name isn't too fitting as they've only had 5 members for a brief period in their career?
We're locked in. We're locked in.
Oh, this is a great video, by the way. I love this video.
I honestly have no idea. We got a clue of 5 members for a brief period in their career. I don't know if that means something.
The only thing I could think of based off of that, this isn't my wheelhouse, but
Yeah.
5 members for a brief period of time. Isn't there a band called Five Finger Death Punch?
So that's what I thought too. But I think I've seen the video, and the guy looks really old, and I don't think that they're that old of a band.
Okay,
But
so
important to note, I don't have anything
Five-Finger
better.
Death Punch is definitely not doom.
They're also
metal.
not doom metal, yeah.
Okay, all right.
But
They're butt rock.
Is this just a band that plays the theme songs from the game Doom?
According to Wikipedia, Five Finger Death Punch is just like a generic heavy metal band, or
no,
even a hard rock
there's nothing
band.
metal about Five Finger Death Punch. They get filed away with him and some of those other bands.
Just hard rock at that point. Yeah.
So now that we've settled on that, we have no good answer. So
Okay. Well, I'm going to answer this question with Ciro Miedo because I believe the answer is pentagram.
Yes, this was in fact pentagram. You've probably all seen the video at this point, but you might have even just noticed the giant pentagram logo on the drum set. But for those of you who are familiar with, who aren't familiar with pentagram, I suggest you go and watch the documentary Last Days Here, and then go on Wikipedia and read everything that happened since the filming of that documentary ended to today. If you do know who Pentagram is, you're probably just as surprised as I am that Bobby Liebling is A, still alive, B, not in jail, and C, still allowed to be in Pentagram. I'm very surprised they're still around.
Wild.
I believe Cirith Ungol is your favorite doom metal band, right? The Lord of the Rings inspired,
perhaps.
oh, this video, yeah, this is crazy looking. This man,
Right?
What's not crazy are the scores, because you're pretty close. So after 5 questions, Spring Training Robot Umpire with 20 points, and No Heroes, meaning the sandwich, with 30 points. So it's anyone's game so far.
Awesome. Question number 6 is film. Although he's best known for playing a certain character on film and television, what actor who died in 2015 had a long-lived career behind the camera, directing films such as 3 Men and a Baby, The Good Mother, and Holy Matrimony?
All right, we're locked in.
Visually, you're very close, even though your answer is incorrect, but I love your answer.
Neil just judging silently. If you're looking, I think if you're thinking of obscure character actors, you might be in the wrong realm here. Marcus, do you know this one?
I don't. I think I know what's crazy. Yeah, I think I know who it is. I just don't know his name. I think he was on. Oh, go ahead.
I think you do know his name, and I think his name was already brought up as a Nerf Herder song because I think it's Spock. I think it's Leonard Nimoy.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. I like it.
Oh, that's very well done. We thought it was who I said looked like Anthony Fauci, Richard Belzer.
Oh, Detective Munch.
Yeah. Okay. He said a specific character, and I know he played Munch
For a long time.
Yeah. You might have noticed in the clue I put the words long-lived as a little bit of a hint. But yes, this was in fact Leonard Nimoy.
And he prospered. Good for him.
Well done.
Question number 7 is in business. In October of 2024, the Justice Department announced that TD Bank was at the center of one of the largest money laundering scandals among commercial banks in the United States and was forced to pay $3 billion in fines. Ironically, what does the T in TD Bank stand for?
All right, we're locked in on this one.
Oh boy. Okay. You don't know offhand, right?
No. Wait, is TD Bank, is that Boston? I thought that was the Jags Stadium was TD.
It's possible. I don't know.
Anyways, doesn't matter.
They might have multiple stadiums. But I don't know.
Lawrence.
I don't think that's what it stands for, or Tatum,
okay.
or any of the other T's associated with their
Probably
sports
has
team.
nothing to do with sports.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think we're on the wrong irony.
I think it's got to be something, whether it's like trust or transparent, something, because if it's money laundering, they're not being those trustworthy.
I like trust. I mean, there's a lot of, bank names that I can think of that have trust
could
in
have,
it.
and it's a financial term, so it could have like a double meaning, or kind of, you trust us.
To be clear, it's trust and not truz, like we're Lamar Jackson or something.
Right. Yes, trust with a T.
Okay.
A T at the end. So I think we can lock in with that. Trust something bank.
You're allowing me to audible?
Make the call.
I will make the call. So originally we were thinking trust, but then I remembered back to when you and I visited the fair land of Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Canada only has like 6 banks, one of which is TD Bank. And I'm pretty sure the T is Toronto.
If you say so. I
remember
find
looking
very
it up.
ironic.
I remember looking it up in, well, it's ironic because it was the United States and not.
All right. Alex?
Yeah, you pretty much nailed it. TD stands for Toronto Dominion Bank.
Oh, wow.
I'll owe you one.
I remember looking it up when we were in Calgary.
So TD Bank Ballpark is for the Somerset Patriots, which is not a professional baseball team. And then TD Garden, also TD Bank, is the Boston Celtics.
And the Bruins, I believe.
Yeah.
Question number 8 is science. Well, astronomers have mostly stuck to the tradition of naming planets and their moons after Greek gods. Which planet defies this by having most of their moons named after characters found in the works of Shakespeare and Alexander Pope?
I've done a lot of Shakespeare-related research for another project that I was potentially working on. This has come up. Do you know this, Marcus?
Is it Jupiter?
I think it's not Jupiter. I think it's actually Uranus.
Okay, well, I told you guys at the beginning of this that I'm not going to sound smart during this, so yeah, I'm gonna
we'll get to one.
go with you.
We'll always have Petco Park.
Yeah, we'll always have Petco where I confirmed that I blacked out, and for all you people at home, I sent a picture of me blacked out to Neil, so he got to see what it.
So that'll be our episode cover.
Yeah, you can use it. I don't
Blacked
care.
out at Petco Park.
And we did not see Marcus's Uranus, just to be clear.
We did.
We were between Uranus and Neptune.
And I'm sorry, my obsession with the Galilean moons kind of clouds my understanding of other moon systems.
We went with Neptune.
One team's got it. This is Uranus.
Well done.
Damn.
This game's tit for tat. I love it.
Question number 9 is in vexillology, aka flags.
Oh, no. Jeff's got this one.
For the normies out there, flags.
Yep, that's how we always do it at our trivia nights back in Boca.
Nepal, Ohio.
Oregon.
It's just talking about non-square flags.
Of all the countries recognized by the UN, 3 of them, all in the same hemisphere, have a flag containing a sun with a human face on them. For 2 points each, name all 3 countries.
Oh, boy.
Is this one of them Teletubbia?
All right, we're going to go ahead and lock in. I think we're confident on one country, and we're just going to guess on others.
Yeah, so we're pretty confident on the one. You said it's a bit messy, right? That was the joke?
Yeah, that was the joke.
So we're looking at Argentina.
C.
So we got Argentina, so it's all in the same hemisphere. So good news, there's not that many South American countries. I thought Uruguay might have the sun on it. I feel like that's also a blue flag with a smiling
it is a blue
with a
flag.
sun. So we'll do Argentina and Uruguay, and then let's pick another country. Not Colombia, not Brazil.
What about
What about
Ecuador? What's Ecuador's flag look like?
Who knows? I bet it's got a human face sun on it.
Very happy sun on it.
Yeah.
It's got Christopher Walken's face for some reason.
It's the sun from the Raisin Bran commercials. It's just smiling at you. So let's go with that.
All right.
Great guesses. All right, we said Argentina.
Yep.
We said I believe, the northern hemisphere country of Haiti.
I know Kiribati has a sun on the flag. I don't think it has a face, but
great.
Well, one team nailed this one. It is Argentina, Uruguay, and Ecuador.
Wow.
No, that's serious.
Wow. What?
So they should probably get a full 10, right? Because I got all three.
Yeah,
six.
Just
six points.
Okay.
But that's one more bonus point.
I don't even understand.
Moral victory for sure, though.
I was
then you
sure
got
in
2 points?
Argentina,
2 points.
50-50 on Uruguay, and Ecuador is a blind guess.
Yeah, you were just like naming Central. I was like, it's got to be Central America somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah. That's
Well done.
crazy.
And our last question for the first half of the round is in video games. First appearing in Street Fighter III Second Impact, the character Hugo Andore is based off of what wrestler who died in 1993? In Third Strike, when playing against Alex, another character based on a real-world wrestler, the two will start the match by recreating a famous moment from WrestleMania 3 based on the people who inspired them.
I think the wrong guy died in 93. Is that fair?
Yep.
You good. Let me tell you something, brother.
So I take it Matt's locked in here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you are.
I did watch the Vince McMahon documentary. So I believe WrestleMania 3 might have been Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm.
So that would be Andre, since unfortunately Hulkster is still with us.
but Hugo Andore definitely sounds like a Andre the Giant type name.
Sure.
Parallel.
Yeah, I was chugging down some great American beer over here. Unfortunately, not Andre the Giant's wine because he passed in 1993. So Andre the Giant.
Yeah, this is in fact Andre the Giant and not the guy who makes, for lack of a better terms, brash political decisions and owned a failed pasta restaurant.
I'd like to use my creative control and take that point away from you guys.
Yeah.
You don't have any creative control.
Doesn't work for me, brother.
Not according to me, dude.
No one has any control here whatsoever.
Listen here, Jack.
Listen here, pal.
After the first round, it looks like No Heroes, also the sandwich, have 52 points, and Spring Training Robot Umpire have 56 points. So only 4 points separate
that
both
was the
teams.
difference.
That was the difference. It was Ecuador.
That
Stupid.
sun is a little bit on the top of a band on the crest. I had to look it up. I was like,
I'm telling
where
you,
is this on the
very
flag?
tiny
I
sun,
pulled
tiny
that
so
out
tiny.
of nowhere. That is absurd. I couldn't have told you the colors.
That one
Now-
came from Uranus.
Andre the Giant was, of course, a giant, but something else that is also a giant help is our patrons. So if you'd like to join all of our patrons helping our show continue to grow as tall as Andre to get us to 1,000 patrons, you can go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcast for as little as $1 a month, or what's his name? Santino, the guy that always gets thrown out of the Royal Rumble.
Something else
Matt?
that was a giant was the stretch that you made for that transition.
You can even pledge $10.69 a month. I don't know where that number came from. It's just random and off the top of
It
my
might
head.
be Lou Holtz who gives us 1069, the only 1069 we get. But
If you want to be the first 420,
420.
If somebody gives us 420, we'll give you the $5.
that's true. That's true. But yeah,
I've had 420 a month.
Oh, that would be better significantly.
You would definitely get the $5 benefit. At
Jeff,
that
what do we
level.
get for the $5
But
level?
if somebody gives us $4.20, we'll give them the $5
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
What did they get, Jeff?
Aside from ad-free episodes of all of our main feed episodes, plus all of our bonus episodes that come out weekly at a minimum,
That's a lot of content.
it is
That's
a
like
lot of content.
2 hours, two extra hours of
And
trivia.
most of it's trivia focused, and some of it's nonsense. Stay for the nonsense; it's good fun. We call it the crop drop, and
That's it.
it's a wild time. Marcus just joined us on one.
I sure did. And make sure you stay subscribed to the regular feed and you get that download for your boys. And because that's what love is.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. And just give you a little math here. I'm not great at math, but if you're a patron at the $5 level or higher, okay, you're going to get at least 4 bonuses a week from Patreon, right? So that's 48 episodes a year.
No, we do one every week. That's 52. There's 52 weeks.
Oh, thank you. I don't know why I think it first.
That Baum's working overtime.
He did 4 times 12, which is 48. It's good math, but there's some weeks that have 5 Fridays. So
all right, so we got
it was easier
months.
than you expected.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got
You can just remember that it's 52.
52, and then you have 1 episode a week, full episodes hour, which is another 52, right? So that's 104.
Yeah.
It's good so far.
Let's add in the Triviality minis, which are
We're trying to get that down weekly.
We're trying to get them weekly, but stuff happens.
if it's ideal though, it's 1 a week, which is another 52, right?
Yeah. So you're currently at 156.
So 156, and you're probably going to get anywhere between 6 and 8 main feed bonuses in there, right?
You're almost talking about 1 episode of Triviality every
Maybe
other day for a year.
175 episodes.
That's pretty crazy.
Nearly every other day.
And that's all thanks to our patrons. But if you want all of that, just sign up at patreon.com/trivialitypodcast.
No wonder I've gone crazy.
Well, that was a long Patreon drop that we just did. I bet all of our patrons are very thankful that they're subscribing to us and they didn't have to hear it. But what we're also thankful for is this upcoming swing round. What do you have for us, Alex?
All right. This one is called I Wrote a Book. And in honor of this amazing signed copy of Neil's trivia book that he sent me.
Very nice.
Put that back, that prop back.
Damn, I forgot to bring it in to have you sign it, Neil.
You know where I live.
I do.
So in honor of this amazing signed copy of Neil's Christmas trivia book that he sent me, I'm going to give you some quotes, quote unquote, from some other authors who also wrote books. You just have to tell me the name of the author and for 1 bonus point, the book in question. Question number 1. I wrote a book after one of my publishers bet me $50 that I wasn't able to write an engaging children's book using only 50 distinct words. A loose adaptation of the book would later become a Netflix series starring Adam Devine and Michael Douglas. Number 2. I wrote a book about a boy dealing with angst, alienation, and superficiality within society. Although it's been mostly well received by scholars and authors alike, its inclusion in schools and libraries has been challenged, and I'm willing to bet that John Lennon and Ronald Reagan weren't big fans. Question number 3. I wrote a political treatise that offers advice to new rulers on how to control and maintain power over their states. While in prison, Tupac Shakur read this book and was so inspired by it that his first posthumous album was released under a stage name inspired by my name. Question number 4. From 1920 to 1926, I wrote an English translation of the epic poem that is regarded as one of the most important and most often translated works of Old English literature. It wasn't until my son, Christopher, edited and released it in 2014, 41 years after my death. Question number 5. I wrote a book about a poor family of farmers driven from their home in Oklahoma to start a new life in California. Even if they did not read this book, the main character of the story is probably familiar to fans of folk rock and nu metal from a song that Bruce Springsteen wrote and Rage Against the Machine later covered. And I'll give you a bonus point if you can name the song in question. Question number 6. I wrote a book in 1947 regarding the Everglades and how its conservation is important due to the diverse flora and fauna found within it. Although I've been a staple in textbooks for decades due to my conservation efforts, my name was brought up often in the national news in 2018 for a completely different reason. Question number 7. I wrote a book in 1962 taking inspiration from working the graveyard shift as an orderly in a mental health hospital. I also took mescaline and LSD as part of Project MK Ultra during that time, and was also the leader of a group called the Merry Pranksters. Question number 8. I wrote a book about an innovative and uncompromising architect named Howard Rourke, who battles against conventional standards and refuses to conform to societal expectations. Libertarianism.org lists it as one of the 3 books that launched the libertarianism movement, along with The Discovery of Freedom and The God of the Machine. Question number 9. I wrote a book, a manga, about a town cursed by supernatural forces tied to spirals, which is bizarre as it is horrifying. It was so well received that it was nominated for an Eisner Award and adapted into a miniseries on Adult Swim in 2024. And question number 10. I wrote a book based on a bedtime story I made up to help my children grieve after my wife, Sylvia Plath, committed suicide. Please ignore the fact that it was due to my alleged and constant abuse and affairs. It was turned into a beloved animated film whose title was changed to avoid association with a certain Marvel character. And for this one, I will accept either the title of the book or the title of the film adaptation.
All right, we have our questions. We'll be right back and see how many of these we can get.
This episode is brought to you by the Toyota Grand Highlander. From daily routines to life-changing adventures, the Toyota Grand Highlander is spacious, powerful, and ready to take on life's grand challenges. Advanced safety features and innovative technology give you confidence for whatever life throws at you. And it's available in a hybrid Nightshade Special Edition, which includes sophisticated gloss black exterior accents and 20-inch black alloy wheels. Learn more at toyota.com/Grand Highlander. Toyota, let's go places.
I was never really a runner. The way I see running is a gift, especially when you have stage 4 cancer. I'm Anne. I'm running the Boston Marathon, presented by Bank of America. I run for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute to give people like me a chance to thrive in life, even with cancer.
Join Bank of America in helping Anne's cause. Give if you can at BofA.com/supportAnne. What would you like the power to do? References to charitable organizations is not an endorsement by Bank of America Corporation. Copyright 2025.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
And we are back with answers for the swing round. Once again, for the author, we'll get our 5 points per question. And for the book, an extra bonus point. So possible 6 points per question.
So question number 1, I wrote a book after one of my publishers bet me $50 I wasn't able to write an engaging children's book using only 50 distinct words. A loose adaptation of the book would later become a Netflix series starring Adam Devine and Michael Douglas.
We said Dr. Seuss with Green Eggs and Ham.
Hey, we said the same thing. Dr. Seuss, Green Eggs, and Ham.
Yeah, this is Dr. Seuss, and it was Green Eggs and Ham for the book. Question number 2, I wrote a book about a boy dealing with angst, alienation, and superficiality within society. Although it's been mostly well received by scholars and authors alike, its inclusions in schools and libraries has been challenged, and I'm willing to bet that John Lennon and Ronald Reagan weren't big fans.
I believe their assassins or would-be assassins had this book on their person. We said Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger.
Oh, that's right. Holden Caulfield's the name of the character. So we said, I'll say this because I screwed this up. We said Catcher in the Rye, and we said the author was Holden Caulfield. Whoops.
Yeah, Catcher in the Rye was the book, and then J.D. Salinger was the author.
Salinger.
Take your bonus point, though.
Hey, 1 point. Pity point. Yeah. We'll take it.
If you don't get the author, but you get the book, you'll still get your 1 bonus point. Question number 3. I wrote a political treatise that offers advice to new rulers on how to control and maintain power over their states. While in prison, Tupac Shakur read this book and was so inspired by it that his first posthumous album was released under a stage name inspired by my name.
We weren't super sure on this one, but we said The Art of War by Sun Tzu.
The only thing we were sure about was the Tupac angle, and we know that it is Machiavelli, and we have nothing else.
The Prince.
Yep. Yeah, it was Machiavelli, and the work was The Prince. Question number 4. From 1920 to 1926, I wrote an English translation of the epic poem that is regarded as one of the most important and most often translated works of Old English literature. It wasn't published until my son, Christopher, edited and released it in 2014, 41 years after my death.
We said Beowulf by John
Ronald
Rule.
Rule.
Tolkien.
It's pronounced Rule.
Well, we said Beowulf by some guy.
You got the hard part.
Who did you say for the author for?
Tolkien.
For
us? Tolkien.
Okay, there we go. Tolkien. Yes. Yes, it was Tolkien, and it was Beowulf for the work. I always thought the 2 R's stood for railroad.
Not so.
Question number 5. I wrote a book about a poor family of farmers driven from their home in Oklahoma to start a new life in California. Even if they didn't read this book, the main character of the story is probably familiar to fans of folk rock and nu metal from a song that Bruce Springsteen wrote and Rage Against the Machine later covered. And I'll throw in a bonus point if you can name the song in question.
Yeah, for a whopping 7 points, we're going with The Grapes of Wrath by Steinbeck, and the song would be The Ghost of Tom Joad.
Oh, we didn't know the song. We did have Grapes of Wrath, and we had Steinbeck.
Yeah, right on all 3. Grapes of Wrath, Steinbeck, and the song in question was The Ghost of Tom Joad. Question number 6. I wrote a book in 1947 regarding the Everglades and how its conservation is important due to the diverse flora and fauna found within it. Although I've been a staple in textbooks for decades due to my conservation efforts, my name was brought up often in the national news in 2018 for a completely different reason.
Couldn't zero in on this one, so we just went with Rachel Carson and Silent Spring.
Yeah, this is where it falls apart for us. We said we had literally nothing. The Green New Deal. What is that? Is that a book? I don't know.
So, this one actually played a little bit harder than I was expecting it to. So the book was called River of Grass. The author is actually she was my old high school was named after her. It was Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, and that's what happened in 2018. Right. Question number 7. I wrote a book in 1962 taking inspiration from working the graveyard shift as an orderly in a mental health hospital. I also took mescaline and LSD as part of Project MKUltra during that time, and I was also the leader of a group called the Merry Pranksters.
Pretty sure this is Ken Kesey, and he wrote One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, we were pretty sure it was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and the only author I know is taking a ton of LSD. We said Hunter S. Thompson.
Yep, this was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and the author was Ken Kesey. Question number 8. I wrote a book about an innovative and uncompromising architect named Howard Rourke, who battles against conventional standards and refuses to conform to societal expectations. Libertarianism.org lists it as one of 3 books that launched the libertarianism movement, along with The Discovery of Freedom and The God of the Machine.
All right. Well, we said Ayn Rand, and we were fighting between the 2 books, The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged. We just figured Atlas was the more popular of the 2, so we said Atlas.
Those are definitely smart answers. I keyed in on architect, and we said Ted Mosby, the Ballad of Art Vandelay.
And the book was called That's a Penis.
Yeah, so this was Ayn Rand. The book was The Fountainhead.
Yeah, I believe Atlas was maybe about an inventor.
I never read it.
I know, I didn't read it either.
It was a 4-hour movie, too.
Question number 9. I wrote a book, a manga, about a town cursed by supernatural forces tied to spirals, which is bizarre as it is horrifying. It was so well received that it was nominated for an Eisner Award and adapted into a miniseries on Adult Swim in 2024.
We said Uzumaki by Junji Ito.
Oh, that was our other guess. We said Nothing by no one.
Yep, Uzumaki by Junji Ito. Great book, bizarre, horrifying. And question number 10. I wrote a book based on a bedtime story I made up to help my children grieve after my wife, Sylvia Plath, committed suicide. Please ignore the fact that it was due to my alleged constant abusive affairs. It was turned into a beloved animated film whose title was changed to avoid association with a certain Marvel character. And I'll accept either the title of the book or the title of the movie for this one.
All right. Well, we just are kind of riding the edge on this one. So we knew that the author was something Hughes, so we're locking in with a Hughes. And then for the movie, we said Rescuers Down Under, because the original title was Avengers Down Under. Obviously.
Oh, that is a lot. Yeah, we again didn't know. So we had a big fat nothing.
Okay. All right, you guys were right about it being Hughes, and I'll accept that for Jeopardy rules, I guess. His name was Ted Hughes. The book was called The Iron Man, but it was made into a film called The Iron Giant.
Oh. after the swing round, both teams did pretty good there. Got some bonuses, got some full points, but no heroes, also a sandwich, picking up quite a few points here. So spring training robot umpire is going to be at 76. They picked up 20 points, also known as the Steve McMichael for Marcus. And no heroes picking up 47 points, bringing them to 99, and my favorite 99 of all time, Ricky Vaughn. So it's 99 to 76.
Move over, Gretzky.
Awesome. Question number 1 in round 2 is comics. In the graphic novel and television show Invincible, the titular character attends RVJ High School. What actor, who also voices the school's principal Ben Winslow in the Amazon Prime adaptation, is RVJ named after?
We can lock in. I love this show. I've seen every episode.
All right, looks like Jeff's onto something too.
How many
What do you
other
got?
RVJs do you know?
Just the one.
Reginald Vell Johnson. The one and only.
Yeah, everyone's favorite TV dad. It's Reginald Vell Johnson.
Winslow.
That's right.
Yeah, you should have picked it up by the Ben Winslow name, but yes, it was Reginald Vell Johnson.
Interesting. I've been recommended that show / comic many times in the last 3 days.
Yeah, the season finale.
Very recent.
It's been hitting hard very recently.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's really, really good, and a quick watch too. So
Okay, fine, I'll watch it.
Question number 2, we're going back to literature. Clarence Clump, Miranda Grope, and Marvin Prune were all names of unused characters that never made it into the final version of what 1964 cautionary tale? There was also a character named Herpes Trout, but his first name was changed to Mike, and his surname was changed too.
So, do you think that this is a tale of potential madness? Is that? Do you think that this?
I think that would be a way to describe it. Yeah.
Yeah, this could be reefer madness. I feel like that was a cautionary tale. And herpes trout, huh? Okay.
I would be open to calling going to a game and calling Mike Trout Herpes Trout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See how he reacts.
Yeah. We'll lock in.
Are we thinking that this Mike in question is Mike Television?
Maybe.
Oh.
I think maybe the cautionary tales were delivered via song and Charlie.
Drowning kids in chocolate and
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Paul Waldall.
The People's Champ?
I want to read
Question
that book
number-
with Clarence Clump and Miranda Grope.
it could have been Miranda Grape and Marvin Prune. Like, totally acceptable.
And then Mike Jones and Slim Thug after that. By Roald Paul Waldall.
Mike Jones.
All right, question number 3 is in landmarks. In January of 2013, the fashion house Fendi sponsored a 2.2 million euro restoration of what Roman landmark that is often flocked to by tourists who desire to return again one day and has appeared in films such as La Dolce Vita and Roman Holiday?
Right after a brief discussion, breaking down the question, I think we're locked in here.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to have a brief discussion on Roman landmarks?
Oh, yeah, totally. That's right in my wheelhouse.
I don't
stuff.
think that Fendi was restoring the Roman Colosseum. I feel like that's a bigger project.
Yeah, that might take a little bit more.
Yeah, well, definitely more than a day. It was not built. I literally have no idea here. Do you think it's some kind of statue, some kind of?
Probably I don't know. The statue of David, is that in Rome? No, probably not.
Michelangelo's David?
Or Michelangelo's David is what I meant.
It could be in Rome.
Yeah. Maybe.
People want to go check it out, see what he's packing.
They're like, oh, check out his dome. Michelangelo's packing. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Michelangelo is rock hard.
That's what they say.
It's David, though.
Yeah, David's bricked up right now.
That'd be pretty.
That's how the kids would say it. They wouldn't say he's rock hard. They go, "Oh, he's bricked. He's bricked, bro."
Yeah.
Back in my day, bricked up meant something.
He's about.
It would be pretty. It would be something else if Michelangelo did a nude sculpture of himself.
It's like, how tall is he? It's about
They did.
Did he at least
David.
paint
What are
his
you guys
mask
thinking?
orange?
Though? What are you guys thinking?
We have let's do the Mona Lisa. Is that there? It gets moved
That's
around.
in the
that's
Louvre.
in the Louvre, yeah.
Okay, then we got the Venus de Milo.
Okay. Well, we think maybe Fendi was trying to get the fountain renamed to the Fendi fountain. I believe the Trevi fountain, if you throw a coin in there, you're destined to return to Rome. So that's what we said, or something like that.
Yeah, you pretty much hit the nail on the head with that. But yeah, the myth is you throw a coin into the Trevi fountain over your shoulder and you'll come back to Rome again one day.
Nice. And David is in Florence, Matt, for future.
Oh yes, of course. My mistake.
I'm gonna tempt fate by doing the Trevi fountain thing and then never going back.
Are you going to Rome on your Roman holiday this year?
No.
It'll be like Roman Final
you go to-
Destination. You'll be on a plane and it's like, we're going to Rome. You're like, no.
It's
a bunch of guys come take you.
Instead of death, it's a trip to Rome.
So it's terrifying.
I go on Ken's Instagram this,
Much nicer.
this summer, and your Roman is just spelled like roaming vacation.
Constantly radio stations calling me, telling me I want a Roman vacation. Not bad. Not bad.
All right. Question number 4 is not so current events. Back in January, when TikTok was facing a ban in the United States, remember those crazy 2 days? Many people began migrating to Xiaohongshu, a similar Chinese social media app. Name either of the 2 commonly accepted translations of this phrase, one of which is a reference to the ideology of Mao Zedong.
All right, we're locked in on this one after brief discussion.
Yes, very brief. So do you remember this? Did you sign up?
It's Red Note, right?
I remember that being the thing that people like. I guess and it makes sense because the communist is kind of the Maoist ideology.
If you had to associate a color with communism.
Yeah.
probably
I just remember because there were a lot of people that I follow that were literally like, I created one because that's like the thing that I'm going to do now. And I'm like, all right, I guess. So
And then they get on there, and it's just like all the Chinese folk are like, please don't ruin our platform.
Yeah, go away,
also, by the
please.
way, you have to really abide by
He
our
said,
rules.
"Americans, go
right.
away, please."
yeah. So
One red note. What do we have?
2 red notes.
Okay.
Yeah, so the 2 translations are Little Red Book or Red Notes. Question number 5 is on alcohol. Traditionally a Christmas time cocktail, an 1820s drink that mixes rum, brandy, eggs, milk, and sugar, shares its name with what animated duo that would first appear on screen roughly 110 years later and is currently owned by Warner Brothers?
I'm pretty sure I know this one.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you. Yeah.
And Jeff, this sounds like eggnog to me. I don't know the animated duo, but eggnog?
Sure.
Yeah, if you mixed a Tom Collins and a Sailor Jerry, it wouldn't taste like this drink, but it is a Tom and Jerry.
No way.
Yes, it is. I had to keep my poker face when you said that, but yes, it is a Tom and Jerry.
After 5 in the second round, spring training robot umpire picking up 30 points, bringing their total to 106. No Heroes picking up 40 points, bringing their total to 139.
Awesome. Moves on to question number 6, which is language. Depending on its context, the Spanish word muñeca can be translated as wrist or what kind of toy, which, when used the way it was made for, often involves a person using their wrist when playing with it.
We're locked in.
You guys locked in?
Yeah. Yes.
This is a doll. Muñeca means doll.
When used the way it was made for, using the wrist. So maybe a specific, maybe like a ventriloquist dummy or
that would make sense.
Or using their wrist when playing with. Maybe it's more specific than just doll. Or we could say doll.
That's what confused me initially, because I know muñeca means doll, but then when they were involving the wrist.
Like maybe like a hand puppet, or
Yeah.
I'm not the puppet. You're the puppet.
more just a puppet. I don't know.
I don't know.
What do you
I'm
want to go
scared
with?
now.
Now, because now I feel like if we say doll, we got to clarify.
Well, let's say
for-
doll, and then if he asks us to clarify,
Yeah.
we'll clarify.
Yeah.
Yeah, we said the same thing. Doll or a puppet. I think we're fine.
Yeah, you're both fine. It was doll.
All right.
I mean, I did reference a song in the clue if you read it.
Ragdoll?
No, it was Made For. Damn it. That Billie Eilish song that she did for the Barbie movie.
Barbie.
Thought you were a big Frankie Valli fan in Four Seasons. I thought you were a big Ragdoll guy.
All right, moving on to question number 7, mythology. Although there are different tellings of the story, Perseus, the winged horse, is said to have emerged from the blood of what mythological monster after Perseus beheaded her? In many tellings of this myth, Perseus used her severed head as a weapon, but inadvertently killed himself with it.
We're like that.
Classic Perseus. What is he using here, Marcus?
Oh, he's using Medusa's head
Mm-hmm.
to turn people to stone.
For purposes.
For purposes.
Yes. Yeah, we also said Medusa.
He was bricked and then he got bricked.
Cautionary tale.
Yep, this was in fact Medusa.
Befalls all men from time to time.
Yeah, you get too
stories
bricked.
all the time.
You get too bricked, you make mistakes.
Question number 8 is geography. In Spanish, they're known as Las Islas Malvinas. What are they known as in England, along with the rest of the English-speaking world?
Okay, so we're probably looking for some islands.
Yeah.
Why do you say?
I'm just it's just a hunch. Don't think it's rule out Galapagos. Can
Maldives?
Maldives was it looks so similar
It
that
looks
I feel
similar. Yeah.
that I don't know if that would be it. It could be like the Dominican, or it could be any of those Costa Rican islands, or. But I don't have a strong thought either way. So if you want to go with Maldives just because it looks like it and we don't really know.
We're very smart and cultured. Is what I've realized throughout
more
this game, so.
alcohol questions. That's
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Unless you have anything that you think would be better.
I really don't. So
okay. We'll go Maldives.
We guess the Spanish island chain or archipelago or whatever they are, the Canary Islands.
Oh, no points on this one. The reason why I brought up England was because they own them, even though some other countries still wants to claim ownership to them. These are the Falkland Islands.
Oh.
Kevin and Marshall need to get over there and figure it out.
Kevin
Question
Falk.
number 9.
No one's referencing
like it.
Kevin Falk. That's for sure. That's a deep cut. Benchwarmers exclusive.
That's what you get. That's what you get with us. The deep cuts.
Question number 9. I don't know whether to label this one video games, film, or TV, so let's just say it's all 3. Someone made a real video game based on a fake video game on The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
The game, which cost Milhouse 40 quarters, was based on what 1995 post-apocalyptic film, and at the time production, was the most expensive film ever made despite earning lackluster reviews.
Yeah, they ripped on this movie a lot.
Oh, yeah.
You can.
All right, so it sounds like you guys are locked in.
You can go.
Yeah.
All right, as for us, I'm having trouble coming up with the name of the game. I kind of remember the episode that this is from. I think it's Blood something, or it's a violent sort of title, but we're gonna say Blood Rain.
I think you're thinking of a different game from the Simpsons. I believe Milhouse puts in 40 quarters, and then Kevin Costner takes 2 steps, because I think this is Waterworld.
Oh.
Yeah, this is Waterworld. He takes 2 steps, and then Kevin Costner's voice is like,
Enter
please
40
insert 40 more. But yeah, I threw it in the chat, but there's the link if you actually want to watch the gameplay, but it's dead on with The Simpsons, but it's a full game based on like a 2-second throwaway joke. And that brings us to our last question in the round. Question number 10 is music. Probably the only redeeming quality of Disney's 2005 film Chicken Little. Patti LaBelle re-recorded what song along with Joss Stone, which was originally written for a montage sequence in a 1984 comedy?
No, we're going to have to tap on this one. We're not sure at all.
So they just tapped out. Did you see Chicken Little when it came out?
I did.
Oh.
2005, right? That was
Yeah.
I was a senior in high school.
Uh-huh.
I did see this, but this isn't just
coming. You're on a
to me
date
off the
probably,
top.
and you're just waiting for that Patti
Yeah,
LaBelle
I
song.
said, "Hey, baby, let's go to Chicken Little." Let's go to Chicken Little.
Yeah.
And see what
I
else
will
is
split a medium popcorn.
Taking out a girl on a date to Chicken Little at the movies is like taking a girl to Applebee's for dinner on a date.
It's fancy like.
Maybe they're big Zach Braff.
Oh my god!
Well, you got to eat somewhere after Chicken Little.
That's right.
And have a little chicken.
I don't know if you know this, but Applebee's did run the slogan from 1996 to 1997. You got to eat somewhere.
Did you ever see the Rax commercials?
Oh my God, the
Yes,
Rax
with Mr.
commercials.
Delicious. The whole thing is their whole slogan was "You could eat here," which is the most / I don't know if that's the best or worst tagline I've ever heard, but
I'm
you
trying
could
to
eat
attack this from the Patti LaBelle angle. Because Chicken Little's not going to get me there.
No, Joss Stone probably also.
And Joss Stone had a moment
in 2005.
Yes,
on this soundtrack, and then it was over. And the 1984 comedy, all I could think of, was this like Coming to America or like
maybe,
but
I don't think we're gonna get the song.
It's not Soul Glow, so I don't care about it.
So we have nothing.
It's a double tapper.
Yeah.
Just let it shine through.
Oh.
I don't know I think the movie is Beverly Hills Cop, but I couldn't tell you the title of the song. I know there's a famous montage.
No,
of
it's
Beverly Hills
an
Cop.
Axel Foley theme. Then they say
no. No, yeah, you're right. It was Beverly Hills Cop. She and Joss Stone re-recorded a cover of "Stir It Up." For that.
Oh, damn it!
Well, we're going to stir it up with some scores here, gentlemen. It looks like going into the final round, the points are 136 for Spring Training Robot Umpire, 159 for No Heroes. So very close game. We're going to get those categories in 1 second, but I just want to tell you one more time about Patreon. I'm not going to do a long spiel this time because we did one before. Just come over, sign up, have a drink, have a Danish at patreon.com/trivialitypodcast and help support the show.
You can't do any of those things, but you can find out ways you can support us directly, and in exchange, get some cool stuff.
Yeah. And our love.
Alex, what are the final round categories?
Sure, final round categories, same as every other time I've been on. I'm just going to throw out some album titles of albums I like. Number 1 is Wizard Bloody Wizard, and it's a question on theater. Number 2 is Death is This Communion. And this is a question on religion. Number 3 is Viva Emptiness. It's a question on television. Number 4, To Megatherion, which is a question on art. And number 5, Life is Killing Me, which is a question on film.
All right, the wagers are locked in. Looks like our team, No Heroes, the sandwich, going all in. And your team, various bets, so we'll just get those as we go. So, Alex, let's get the questions.
Sure. Question number 1, Wizard Bloody Wizard. Famously portrayed by Patrick Stewart, James Earl Jones, and even Helen Mirren, what is the name of the wizard who was usurped as the rightful heir as the Duke of Milan in Shakespeare's The Tempest? Question number 2, Death is This Communion. According to the Catholic Church, what word, which is worth 17 points in a game of Scrabble with no modifiers, is defined as the changing of ordinary bread and wine into the body and blood of Christ? Question number 3, Viva Emptiness. The Mystery of Al Capone's Vault was a live TV special where a crew opened a vault belonging to Al Capone, only to find it barren save for some empty bottles and a pile of dirt. What person, known for his tabloid talk shows and appearances on Fox News, hosted this special? Question number 4, To Megatherion. The cover art for Celtic Frost album, To Megatherion, is a painting titled Satan 1 by what late European artist? Although he has an iconic style which blends gothic, sci-fi, and industrial themes, and has created art for many bands, he is probably best remembered for designing the titular character from a 1979 film. And question number 5, Life is Killing Me. Typo Negative's 2003 album, Life is Killing Me, contains one of the band's most popular singles, I Don't Want to Be Me. The music video features what then relatively unknown actor, who would later go on to play Randy Daytona in Balls of Fury, as well as Jacob Kowalski in the Fantastic Beasts trilogy.
All right, the questions are out in the atmosphere, and we will think about these, and we'll be right back to find out who will be today's cream of the crop.
So good, so good, so good.
New markdowns up to 70% off are at Nordstrom Rack stores now. Fresh kicks, spring tops, new dresses. There's always a score.
I mean, the denim section is unreal.
Why do I rack? All the dresses. I always find something amazing.
Head to your Nordstrom Rack store to find can't-miss deals on all the spring things. Great brands, great prices. That's why you rack.
Hey everyone, it's Dan Souza from America's Test Kitchen. I'm super excited to let you all know that we're launching a new video podcast that takes you behind the scenes into the messy, imperfect, but riveting day-to-day life right here in our test kitchen. Not only do I get to talk to my colleagues about the latest taste test they attended.
I just came from a tasting of salted caramel apple pie bars and then roasted garlic, so I apologize.
Or about a recipe they're developing.
The thing about this recipe is it's a secret. The restaurateur refuses to tell people what her secret ingredients are.
We also chat with amazing guests from the culinary world and beyond.
The lamest joke I've ever said.
No,
I said to Marie Bamford.
Great.
It's the it's
definitely
great.
said worse.
Thanks, Anna.
Make sure to subscribe to In the Test Kitchen so you don't miss an episode. You can watch In the Test Kitchen on YouTube and Spotify and listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. Can't wait to see you in the Test Kitchen.
Incoming transmission.
Hello, my name is Matt.
And I'm McKinley. We are the father-son team that brings you History Dispatches.
History Dispatches is a short daily history show where we talk about topics from all over the world and all throughout history. We talk about people, places, events, and even objects.
While anything is fair game, we have a soft spot for the weird, the wacky, and the obscure things you may have never even heard of.
Do you have any examples?
How about Wojtek, the bear who rose to the rank of corporal in the Polish army? Or the Great Emu War? Or how about the biggest treasure take in the history of piracy?
That sounds cool, but do you have a story about the head of Oliver Cromwell? Or one about the ancient library of Alexandria? And a story about the first woman to climb Mount Everest would be cool.
Well, we got those as well. Every weekday, there's something new and fun.
Sweet. So how do I get this trove of goodness?
All you have to do is go to historydispatches.com or just look for History Dispatches in your favorite podcast app.
And all the answers are now locked in. Here we go. Let's see who's going to win this one.
All right. Question number 1, Wizard Bloody Wizard. Famously portrayed by Patrick Stewart, James Earl Jones, and even Helen Mirren. What is the name of the wizard who was usurped as the rightful heir of the Duke of Milan in Shakespeare's The Tempest?
Man, I do not know too many characters in The Tempest. I think Caspian is one of them. So we said Caspian, but we're not happy for 30 points.
We wagered 10, and I believe that this is Prospero.
Yes, this is Prospero.
Played by Sigourney Weaver in London right now.
Question number 2, Death is this communion. According to the Catholic Church, what word, which is 17 points in a game of Scrabble with no modifiers, is defined as the changing of ordinary bread and wine into the body and blood of Christ?
Hoping to get our 30 points back, we said transubstantiation.
We wagered 15, and how did we mess this one up, Marcus?
Oh, I talked about dogma and how I remember them saying transubstantiate, and then we moved on and started talking about another question.
And we did not count those letters.
Didn't count those letters, so we locked in with transubstantiate.
Yeah, the actual term is transubstantiation.
Wah, wah.
Number 3, Viva Emptiness.
That one's trademarked.
Not when I sing it poorly.
No, that's true. Because it's parody at that point.
Right.
Number 3 is Viva Emptiness. The Mystery of Al Capone's Vault was a live TV special where crew opened a vault belonging to Al Capone, only to find it barren save for some empty bottles and a pile of dirt. What person known for his tabloid talk shows and appearances on Fox News hosted the special?
For 30 points, we said Geraldo Rivera.
We said 30, and we also think it wasn't Geraldo's fault that it was empty. We said Geraldo.
There was nothing in Al Capone's fault, but it wasn't Geraldo's fault. It was Geraldo Rivera. Question number 4 to Megatherion. The cover art for the Celtic Frost's album To Megatherion is a painting titled Satan 1 by what late European artist? Although he has an iconic style which blends gothic, sci-fi, and industrial themes and has created art for many bands, he is probably best remembered for designing the titular character in a 1979 film.
We think this is the guy who did the alien from Alien, and I think his name is Geiger, and we said 30 points for that one.
Oh yes, former Orlando Magic center Matt Geiger. We have no idea. That was for you, Marcus. We went with the classic 1979 alien painter Pablo Picasso for 10 points that we're losing.
I've actually got this painting hanging up in my studio right here.
There it is.
But yes, it was H.R. Geiger who famously did Alien.
He also invented the Geiger counter.
Yes, little known fact.
It's just him counting.
One alien,
Question.
2 aliens.
Is that a Swiss accent?
Yeah, I think so.
Close enough.
Transylvanian.
Question number 5, Life is Killing Me. Typo Negative's 2003 album Life is Killing Me contains one of the band's most popular singles, I Don't Want to Be Me. The music video features what then relatively unknown actor who would later go on to play Randy Daytona in Balls of Fury, as well as Jacob Kowalski in the Fantastic Beasts trilogy.
Well, this one's upsetting because I watched the Bob Dylan movie, A Complete Unknown, 3 days ago, and I looked this guy up intentionally, and I can't remember his name. So we're out.
We wagered 30, and Marcus knew this one. Who's this guy?
Yeah, they tried to make him a thing for a while. I still think he's very funny. I think Balls of Fury is a funny movie, but I knew this was Dan Fogler.
Yeah, I had no idea he was in A Complete Unknown until now when I just Wikipedia'd it. But yes, it is Dan Fogler.
It's like, that guy looks familiar.
It all came down to a Scrabble score. If Spring Training Robot Umpire would have gotten transubstantiation, the game would have been over. But the final scores here: Spring Training Robot Empire picking up 45 points, bringing their total to 181. No Heroes, the Sandwich, picking up 30 points, bringing their total to 189. 8 points separate. They are today's cream of the crop.
My life is a fairy tale, but the author is German. The cream rises to the top.
You know what? I'm willing to call that one a draw. That was a good game.
We moved on too quickly.
The spring
we wanted to get to those other
because
damn
we're
questions.
out of here. That's the problem.
Yeah, can the cream be shared amongst all 4 of you?
I think so.
Let's share.
Oh my God! Wait, is
think there's
Gerard Butler calling in to talk about this?
I've seen some
You know,
videos
I
like
think that they can share the
Go around.
points.
I think it'll be fine.
American Gerard Butler,
cream.
what are you doing here?
You know, I really love this Triviality show. It's very, very entertaining. They have
Just
handsome
squeezing this
hosts.
impression.
And we very much love this show in America, where I'm from.
Good.
Just sliding that impression.
I mean,
into
I love the
episode.
Lou Holtz, but maybe workshop that on your own
let's
show.
workshop that one a little bit.
Marcus, while you're workshopping some impressions, thanks for being here.
Instead of saying goodbye to him, I think that should count as his outro.
That's his outro.
That's all he gets.
That's all you get.
Check out Bench Warmers. Share the cream over there. Thanks, Marcus, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Gerard Butler. We loved you in The Ugly Truth. Thank you so much, and Geostorm. Alex, great job hosting this game. Loved the questions. Any shout-outs before we let you go today?
Yeah, quick shout outs to my trivia co-writers, Matt and Justin. Shout out to all my former teams back in Boca Raton. Keep on supporting local bands and music in our schools, and just have a good time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good luck with the rock band. It sounds like a lot of fun.
It is, and hopefully get in time to Denver for Russian Circles tonight, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah, have fun. All right. Well, thank you very much. Marcus, anything before we let you go, or are you good?
Triviality is such a fantastic show. They've paved the way for, truly have paved the way for our podcast, and we thank you guys for that. and support them. Come over and check us out if you would like to. Like I said, sports isn't your thing. I totally get that. But if you want to learn about sports, we'll teach you some things and you'll hear some nonsense. So thank you guys.
Well said.
Thank you.
It's great. Well, that'll do it for today's episode. Once again, I want to thank Alex and Marcus for joining us today. For Matt, Jeff, Neil, and myself, that was Triviality. Peace and love.
Share the cream.
Spend less time staying in the know about all things gaming and more time actually watching and playing what you want with the IGN Daily Update podcast. All you need is a few minutes to hear the latest from IGN on the world of video games, movies, and television with news, previews, and reviews. So listen and subscribe to the IGN Daily Update wherever you get your podcasts. That's the IGN Daily Update wherever you get your podcasts.
What does Sputnik have to do with student loans? How did a set of trembling hands end the Soviet Union? How did inflation kill moon bases? And how did a former president decide to run for a second non-consecutive term? These are among the topics we deal with on the My History Can Beat Up Your Politics podcast. We tell stories of history that relate to today's news events. Give a listen. My History Can Beat Up Your Politics wherever you get podcasts.